So, since we are so prepared.
It's all about you finding the button, right?
It's all about me finding the button.
She's been that fight a long time.
For that for years.
It's been the long-term fight.
There's no road maps to that. But anyway.
Well, I guess the best way to start with, I'm Josh, which is part 1.
And we don't know where your button is either.
No. I mean, the mixing board's over there.
Yeah,
so
well, I'm Kenny, which is part 2, and I'm not touching anything in here because I don't know what else he does down here. Part
Look
1
here.
and part
We've
2.
talked
Is that
about
like
my
thing 1 and
OnlyFans.
thing 2?
Well, but that again, you leave my OnlyFans out of this. My wife didn't know about this till you started in on
Well,
me.
you know
when
what?
she
Next
hears
time,
this,
don't leave your OnlyFans on the 50-inch TV on the wall. Do your editing on somebody else's time.
it's LED, and I need all the help I can get.
Yeah, you do that editing on somebody else's time, too.
Oh,
Anyway, yeah, this is how this is going to go. This is going to
a
be
whole lot of this.
horrible. This is going to be us off topic the entire time.
We ought to call it the walking tangent.
Yeah,
and
pretty much.
Roll on with it.
Sort of like The Walking Dead, only sarcastic and gross.
I don't like headshots either.
What are you doing with an OnlyFans?
Right, well.
That's the problem with your subscriber
Dang
list.
it. So just, and again, this sort of random back and forth is how this whole thing has come together, to be perfectly honest.
This sort of random back and forth is actually how we met.
Right, absolutely. See, I work in radio and am currently on the air. You have experience in radio. We used to work in the same station. We're not going to give call letters and all that because then they may owe us something or we owe them something, and I'm not having that. This is all mine. All the dysfunction is mine to own.
He'd pay for the rights, but he won't do the headshots on the OnlyFans,
No,
so
see?
that's a different story.
I'm very particular about my headshots.
If you just join all your media together. Particular about your headshots. Yeah, folks, this all started because I did a joke early morning on the air 100 years ago.
Pretty much, yeah. When we were both part-time, and it was like, hey, come in here. And that was all she wrote, because we were on 2 different stations, 4 doors apart, and the rest is history. Just sounds so cliche, and I feel bad saying that out loud, but it's kind of true.
Yeah, it is. It is cliche. You're right. That is true.
Oh, at least you acknowledge the true after the fact.
I
was worried for a second.
That after the fact, but yeah, we're not going to talk about the rest being history. I'm old enough.
Well, first off, thank you guys for stumbling on here, and I'm not even sure what rabbit hole you fell down to get here, but we're appreciative.
And for the ones that are going to come back next time to see what we end up with, we appreciate that too.
Yeah.
And maybe apologize in advance. We're not sure.
Everybody slows down for train wrecks. Why is this any different?
Yeah, exactly. You're now rubbernecking for a podcast. That's how this is going.
Off the rails from day one.
Yes,
See, we
well,
come up
why
with
not?
better titles than we actually have content.
Yeah, we do, but we've got a whole list of content over here. We just
Yes.
haven't looked at it yet.
Well, and I think that to a certain extent, while we figure this out, we'll have to go that route and go, okay, well, let's do some pre-canned stuff. And then as life normally happens and stories are shared, because we've all been down more roads than we can count, and, it'll turn into its own thing.
Yeah, pretty much like the guy delivering cars across the road.
Oh, jeez.
Having to take
I thought it
2
was
cars off to deliver one.
Yeah, that was a logistical issue. You always load with what's going to be delivered
played
first.
a role in that one. There was absolutely zero.
I thought it was going to be a
logic.
good day for me, though. I looked at my wife and said, did you buy me a new car? She goes, no. Did you buy me a new car? I was like, well, I hope they leave it. We just won't tell them unless they kind of come back and find it.
Yeah, and I drove up going, hey, dude's blocking the driveway. What's going on here? Some dude's got his head hung out a window on a car that's on a car hauler telling somebody else to go past. And it's like, okay, we're going to direct traffic from 15 feet in the air in a car where nobody's paying attention.
On a country road, too. That adds its own level of irony. And you may have heard Kenny quote the regulation earlier. Somebody else has left radio and has gone into I'll call it a form of DOT.
Yeah, I'm in the public sector. Let's put it like that. Yeah, I've got so many certifications in my wallet, I can't put it in my pocket anymore.
It makes up for all the money that should be there.
Exactly, but they paid for all that, so it doesn't matter.
It's kind of my point. It's kind of my point.
They just don't pay me for all that.
No. That's usually how that works in most industry, unless you're doing it all by yourself.
Well, true. And, being your own boss is not as good as everybody thinks it is.
No.
We'll just put that out there now. It's because, you got to pay yourself. You got to pay your own insurance. Yeah, that's stressful just talking about it. We'll go on to something.
He started to lean back in the chair and then went, no, stay on subtopic.
There's a road we're not going down right there. Let's click that open right there. Top slang terms in 2021 include ghosted. Slang? That's a verb now, isn't it?
I thought, see, this is competing because I thought Webster's added it. Because they always do their words of the year that they add. I don't know why they bother. Because all they're doing is shortening the stuff that's already there.
Yeah, well, okay.
Or combining things. I did contractions in 2nd grade. I don't think we need to worry about adding more now.
Everybody talks about text lingo and how you shorten words for text and everything. Has everybody completely forgotten about personalized license plates?
Oh, I know.
I mean, we've been doing this for years.
So, in other words, all of those folks who put all that time and effort into personalizing a license plate should be ahead of the curve, not behind it.
It's kind of hard to figure out how to say "get off my ass" on a license plate
That's
without,
a valid point.
Abbreviating something. Then you got to get past the DMV.
Are they really sticklers about that?
Yes, they're really sticklers about that. I was literally going to put "go for it" on my tags one time. GO4IT, go for it, and they told me I couldn't do that.
I mean, I can understand it being like a username if you were doing like Kenny284763 because there's that many other people who've done the same thing. But with a license plate, you can't use it more than once.
Right.
But there's nothing wrong with what you're saying.
No. Well, I didn't think it was either. I mean, I didn't tell anybody what they were going for. It just go
That's
for
a good
it.
point.
I mean, really, it was a stick shift truck that I had at the time. I mean, there's a lot of things you could have gone for, but no, they wouldn't let me put "go for it" on my tags.
That's odd.
Yes, I can't remember if they said it was questionable or if they actually said it was offensive, but the computer kicked it out. Of course, we're talking about 1989, where Taylor Swift lives.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I went there, and we still
hurts.
aren't even talking about the top.
No, you did. That's not true. We started with one of them. We started with Ghosted.
Well, you know what?
I thought Salty was a flavor.
Ghosted is actually pretty good if you're going to talk about Taylor Swift. I mean, let's talk about some of her song lyrics. She's salty and probably planning to ghost somebody. See, I even know how to use these.
I'm proud of you.
Still did not know that they were slang. Of course, when I think slang, I'm thinking probably profane. Maybe I should put that out there.
Coming up, that was slang. That was the forbidden language. None of this is forbidden. If this is what 2021 has turned into, with ghosting being forbidden language, slang is, I think this is properly mislabeled.
Well, one of these on here is GOAT. GOAT is, what do they call it, an acronym? It actually stands for greatest of all time.
Correct.
But the fact that it spells out the name of a slightly disgusting animal, yeah. Okay, we stopped there, folks.
I don't know why it needs to be I don't understand why it's a slang term, though. Just add another layer in the dictionary. It doesn't make any sense.
Full story. All right, we'll just read it straight off. Full story. A new study looked at the most popular slang terms for 2021, meaning words kids use. Oh. Well, most of the kids I know use the same words I do. But anyway, they're widespread enough
all kids,
that
you're just old.
Yeah, true. But they're widespread enough that their parents could use them in a sentence. Oh, okay.
That sounds like homework.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? So if you know what they mean, you're not that old yet. Oh, I am that old. I can promise you I'm that old. Hey, the dial works. Nice. Where was it? Oh, the 10 most popular slang terms in 2021 are ghosted, salty, on point, woke. God, I got tired of listening to that. Goat, extra, that's been around for a couple of years now. Low key, really, that's been around since I was not this old. Catfish.
Oh, which is delicious when cooked properly.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the only way it should be.
The only way it should be used in any kind of a sentence or any way. And savage and thirsty. Oh, catfish and thirsty should not even be in the sentence together.
I just don't. A lot of these, they list them. I guess my biggest issue is not the wordage. It's the fact that they're going to call this slang.
Yeah,
this is not slang.
Well, this is actually what happens when you end up with 6 definitions to a word. You open the dictionary and you end up with 6 definitions to a word, and I'm going to go ahead and go there. The word gay did not mean what it means today.
No.
Or it would have never been in the Flintstones theme song.
Absolutely. No, I understand that. But that's also one of the reasons why the English language is the hardest for anybody from a foreign territory to pick up on.
And let's classify. We're talking about the American English language.
Correct.
Because the British don't get into all of
Yes.
this. We're just the weirdos. It's like, oh, somebody said that 8 times. And, oh, they're famous too. So let's go ahead and quote it and put it in the dictionary and put a definition behind it.
Oh, that hurts out loud.
Yes, it does. Actually, it really does.
But I guess I'm more baffled by the fact that this is considered slang versus what the actual verbiage is, because it's terrible. Like, that's not slang. Slang stuff I should get in trouble for, or stuff that my parents shouldn't be able to use in a sentence, not just a different meaning. Like, this should be more of a Webster's study than it should be anything else.
So you're trying to say that what we're looking at is a bunch of words that are now street.
Yeah.
Which
Right,
the
which,
way I
again,
use that
not
word,
slang.
though, is slang.
Right. But see, that's the proper take on how this should be laid out.
Well, here's the funny part. They're saying here that half Americans admit they've used a slang term without knowing what it meant.
So I have a coworker who we had to teach how to teach the term throw shade. And now that individual gets it, it's now not properly used anymore. Like, once that guy got it, the rest of us went, no, we're not going to do that anymore, because there's that overwhelming, I threw shade at you. No, that's not how it works. It's for us to compliment you on the joke, not the other side of it.
Wow. Just wow.
We're just
going to go there.
The best part is he knows exactly which coworker I'm talking about.
That's where it gets bad, right there.
Right.
Whew.
But I have a hard time grasping the fact that these are slang terms.
I have a hard time grasping that half Americans have used it and not knowing what it meant.
That in the
I mean,
in 2021, that doesn't surprise me at all.
I'm serious. I'm serious though. This is not using salty is not new for me.
No,
really,
my blood pressure says I use salty all the time.
Yeah, no kidding. Way too much too, and put that bologna sandwich down as we speak. But
I haven't had lunch yet.
And get off your OnlyFans.
I'm worried about consistent posting.
Yeah.
They say the more that you have, the better.
One sausage is enough. Keep it to the Vienna and leave it alone. But I mean, seriously. So how do you use? All right. So we just used salty, all tore up.
Correct.
So that's what we're talking about there. And but I've been salty about so much since I became an adult. Like the first thing, having to earn a living and pay my own bills, that tends to make somebody salty. So there, if you didn't know how to use it, the slang version just gave you an idea.
We've talked both seasoning of food and being bitter.
And then there's the catfish was a little too salty.
That's, oh jeez, we're going down that road.
So if you're learning this language for the first time and you're hanging out with a bunch of kids that talk like this,
is this what we're going to do?
You're screwed.
We've been looking for a definition of what this whole thing was going to be about, this whole concept of a podcast. Are we going to start teaching people the English language? Because I think we'll better off.
I ain't got no clue. I can promise you that right now. I'm using every single one of these wrong.
I actually, to be perfectly honest, I don't know the slang term for thirsty. Like, could that be hungry?
All right, can we switch over to OnlyFans real quick? I've actually heard that in terms of wanting. So we'll just say sex. We'll just go ahead and put it out there. I've actually heard that in terms of that.
All right.
I have a child that's 23, so I get to learn a lot of this stuff in more awkward situations than this, actually. But I've heard it used that way. And I'm going to put a guess out there. By the way, people, this is a guess. There's my disclaimer. I'm not going to claim that I know this precisely, but using it thirsty as in thirsty for a hookup.
Okay. I could have seen it as like motivated or like to get.
Right. Well, you can be thirsty for a new job.
Yeah.
I mean,
like,
it could be used that way.
You need a change.
It could be used that way.
That's the way I would perceive it.
You could just be horny and thirsty, apparently.
Fair enough.
And that not meaning you need water before you get your freak on.
Good to know. See, I've learned something new today. You have taught me something of nothing.
The sad part is you learned it from me, so when you go learn the real definition, call me. I
mean, we could do that.
Yeah.
We could use the web, but that's not nearly as much fun.
The only thing, they don't have links here, so we can look up what they mean.
Wow.
That's a good use of the Google net. But anyway, so catfish. Every time I hear the term catfish, I
get hungry.
That and slang wise, I'm assuming that still means people out to get like naked pics or whatever from people?
Or like,
isn't that still where you have like a fake Facebook profile
Right.
and you're trying to?
Yeah, no, I
learn
would believe
stuff?
that to be accurate, and it's.
Okay.
I'm not looking for dates anymore, so
So-
that doesn't really.
You basically can get
I don't have that
salty
risk.
about the catfish action that didn't happen because you were thirsty for something new and then they ghosted you.
Wow.
And this,
You're good
ladies
at
and
this.
gentlemen, is why he asked me to join him on this.
You are good at this. This is a game that I am not nearly as good at as I hope to be.
Play Cards for Humanity.
But I like Cards Against Humanity. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is.
I also want to get Meme Against Humanity.
Yeah, I'd probably be a pro about that. I actually get told I share too many of those,
No.
but I love them.
no.
I mean, they're like the best one-liners on the planet.
They're the ultimate response.
Yeah.
No, you don't have to tell a long story or reach for a punchline. Memes have become memes are a version of slang for me.
Yes,
They
and-
are the best comebacks ever.
Exactly, and some of them can be very savage.
Yes. See, there's another one.
And he
But
had to look over the
that one. I
list.
get. Well,
Well, that one's easy.
you gave me 10 words to remember all at once. That's not.
That's
Don't do that.
over your head.
Thank you. You have to consider the source.
He likes for things to be a little bit more low key.
Oh, you gotta.
By the way, if y'all don't
Bring me the notes
remember
or
the
anything.
list, it was ghosted, salty, on point, woke, goat, extra, low key, catfish, and savage and thirsty. And I'm over here trying my best to use them in a sentence properly and not so properly.
I think you're doing a great job.
That's
I
just
do.
what I do. That's what I do. And look at this. See, I even said, it says here 83% of us had to Google a word, and 68% have had to ask a young person.
I refuse to do that.
Well, again, I've got a 23-year-old kid, so I just fire off the text.
Well, and again,
And
I'm
typically,
not,
it's because she fired off a text. It's like I read something that she sent to me, and I'm
Question mark?
like, what in the hell are you trying to say? And that's what I send back. I go ahead and do dad slang. What the WTF? I know what those mean.
See, those types of abbreviations, I'm in on. I could do that all day long. But when you get into the different verbiage or things being named multiple things, I get it for certain things. But now we're adding, are we that out of are we out of things in the English language?
I don't think. Well, apparently not. We just keep making stuff up. Goat would be text language. I mean, really, greatest of all time is what that means.
It's an abbreviation.
It's in all caps here, so that means it's an abbreviation.
Right, but that to me, that's not slang.
No,
that's an abbreviation.
That's not slang. It's an abbreviation, and it's something that gets typed in. And actually, my kid has typed that to me several times over because I sent money.
Oh,
Dad,
well,
you're
that's-
goat. And I'm like, no, I'm not. I mean, I eat a lot, but I'm not a goat. I'm not going to chow down on an aluminum can and bay at the moon. Is that what they do to goats?
I thought
bay?
wolves howled at the moon. I don't know what ghosts
said,
do.
I said bay.
I said ghost. Goats
did I
do.
I might have used the word wrong there. Who knows? Make silly noises. I mean, noises. Is that a sheep?
I mean, same family.
Well, you're the one with the only
Different
What do they
gender.
do when you're...
I don't do sheep shows. I don't do goat shows.
You don't? Well, no
No.
wonder you're not making enough money to pay
Well,
for a few
okay, all
rights. I mean...
So I'm
geez,
getting
dude.
ideas, if nothing else. I will learn from this, if
From-
nothing else.
From the wrong person on the planet. I can tell you that right there. Parents are more likely to be annoyed by slang? Nah. Not
No.
really. Didn't bother me at all.
Again, but think about this though. In the current moment, you also have a background working with youth and different types of things, and so this doesn't surprise me that it doesn't bother you because I think you were kind of viewed as an outlet in the past, not a past life, but just in general. People
Feels like
could
a
talk
past
to you.
life sometimes.
Well, but I'm just saying, if my daughter were to use this now, I would go.
You're
wrong
right.
with
Yeah,
you?
you're right. Because I've done some volunteer work with college age kids and
Right.
high school age kids. That I learned something new, like pretty much every minute.
Right.
Especially when it comes to wording and the use of language. I mean, and they you think I can throw these together real quick in a sentence? You ought to see what happens when they're really trying to tell you something. But
I know.
I don't really find it annoying. And I'm also the one that's going to. What'd you just say? I will do that to you in a heartbeat. What are you trying to tell me? I don't
Right.
understand.
I need you to speak it in a language that I can
it's
understand.
like,
No,
can
I
you-
get it.
Can you put this in old man for me, please?
But see, I think though, to your credit, as what I perceive as a good parent, you have the ability to deliver that without going, stop using all that stupid language. You don't come off as that. You just want to adapt. So you just want to understand what's being said as opposed to speak English.
Yeah, you're right. And I'm not going to shout out speak English. I'm actually going to turn and look at you and go, WTF.
Right.
Only I'm going to say it out because I'm old and I think it sounds stupid to look at somebody and go, hey, WTF. Just say what the fuck and be done with it.
No,
I mean,
no,
really, we did put a rating on this, right?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
so I'm good to go.
Well, I mean, I will.
Oh, they even have pandemic slang terms.
Oh, can we not? Can we not?
Well,
I'm
the
so
top one
tired
is
of that.
not what I thought the top one would be. But anyway.
Really?
Yeah.
It's Rona. Yes, it is.
That's not what I thought the top one would be.
What did you think it was?
Bullshit. But anyway, that's a different story.
There goes the can we not.
Well, we're not going to. That was 100% intended to be a joke.
Fair
100% intended to be a joke. Rona. Actually, I don't hear many people call it Rona. Most people are calling it Cover.
There's
Cover.
It depends on the circle you run in, because I've heard it referred to as Rona more than I have. The new one has been the COVID.
The COVID.
But I think there are elderly people that are like, oh, Billy's got the COVID.
See, no, I have not, and I've not heard that either. I've been calling it the plague, which actually confuses people greatly. Which,
lack of history class.
For you people that are just meeting me, I am all about the joke, and most of them are sarcastic as all get out. So there's some more slang that whole phrase "all get out."
Oh yeah.
I'm going to be doing this probably for the length of what this runs, which is going to probably be this show and done. Quarantine and chill.
I mean, that's just a version of Netflix and chill.
Yeah, but if you're quarantining, you're not doing the same thing as Netflix and chill.
Technically, you could be.
Well, you have to be quarantining with somebody.
Okay. But you could still be watching movies and all the other stuff that goes along with chill.
Yeah, but didn't Netflix and chill mean something completely different from watching movies?
Well, it's a cover story.
Well, that's what it is.
It's a cover story. But I mean, quarantining and chill is still very much the same cover story.
Yeah, well, back in my day, hey, we're just going to watch a movie.
Right. That's just a testament to how bad movies have gotten.
Oh, let's not go there.
Not today, anyway.
Not today, anyway.
There's
However, we will go there. I promise you, we will go there.
And we're always open to suggestion.
Yeah,
there's always that option.
But if we think the movie's stupid, we're not going to talk about it.
But it also explains. That's the thing. That's why I think Netflix and chill got the clout that it received, or the activity it received, because most of the movies that you're choosing to watch, you don't plan on watching.
Exactly.
So,
which yeah, I ain't gonna know there.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying.
We'll just leave that alone.
If anybody ever was like, "Hey, you want to watch a movie?" I wanted to watch the movie. What's wrong with actually wanting to watch the movie? Except for everything now is shit.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
I mean, that's got to be the only reason that statement has any clout whatsoever, or any traction. Is probably the better word.
Okay, I'll let you have that. You'd realize you're using slang by.
I don't mind using slang. I don't understand this slang. I don't understand why this is slang. And maybe I am old. Get off my lawn.
Because he ain't
Get
woke.
off my lawn.
Folks, he ain't woke. That's just all it is to it. He ain't woke.
I've done my best to avoid that.
No,
We've been circling the drain on that one. We've used everything but that. Woke is what you do in the morning.
Did. Quit being extra.
Keep it low key.
Yeah,
I did it too.
Yeah, look at that.
I'm so proud of myself.
You should be. You really should be. Zoom bombing? Oh, okay, I get that. I'm sitting over here talking to him, reading these, and this is how all of this gets started. We had a piece of paper, had a few jokes on it, and we ended up in the same studio.
Yeah.
And then I became me and started just doing all sorts of neat stuff. And what just happened?
The monitors went to sleep. It's okay.
Oh, great. The monitors go to sleep. I'm in the middle of doing a bit. That's awesome.
Oh, I did not realize. I didn't realize you had the squirrel mentality.
I've got
anytime
a
anything changes, you're like,
75-year-old laptop that does not know how to do any of this crap. So I'm old.
I mean, you do seem to be mesmerized by the wave format in our recorder.
Yeah. Dude, it's just bright, shiny lights. You really want to get my attention? Shake some keys. Actually, speaking of all those young adults I used to deal with, that's how I used to get their attention. I'd get my keys out and go, hey, look, shiny.
Or janitor. They were like, why is the janitor shaking all those keys?
That's the reason why janitors always have guns, because they got to be able to pick up those. So those biceps are huge because they got to be able to pick up those.
I immediately went to physical firearms.
I did slang again. Sorry.
Dang it!
Sun's out, guns out, kind of thing.
No, I'm with you now.
Yeah,
it just took me a minute to get on that same.
Have you ever seen a janitor that couldn't lift 400 pounds with one arm? And it's always the arm he carries his keys with.
No, I can't say that I have.
By the way, the whole plumber's crack thing came from that because most electricians, plumbers, carpenters, they wear these tool belts, which pulls their breeches down.
Right.
Now, that's not where all this sagging crap came from, and we'll go there multiple times.
That was a very get off my lawn statement of
you. That
welcome to the party.
Yeah. Zoomer. Yeah, I'm reading these. I've got ADD, by the way, not clinically diagnosed. I just like to tell everybody I do because it helps for the whole, hey, look, a squirrel mentality.
Is there a term, now since I see that kind of on the list there, is there a slang term that you genuinely don't like?
I don't know.
Because, they give some pre-programmed answers based on the results of the survey, but do you have any that are like, oh, I hate that?
I'm not real sure if I'm going to understand why the slang team is sick of hearing "Okay, Boomer."
I mean,
it's possible there's one I don't understand. I'll have to text somebody later.
You don't understand what "Okay, Boomer" is?
No, actually, I
that
don't.
is when you or an adult of your age, just called you old, tells a younger person an actual answer, and they either refuse to accept it or don't appreciate being adulted to, and they go, "Okay, Boomer," like baby boomer.
It has nothing to do with Battlestar Galactica and the character named Boomer.
No.
Oh, okay. Well,
nope.
Well,
not even
the sci-fi geek in me went there.
Nope, it was just to take on baby boomer and just kind of brushing off your commentary as "Okay, Boomer."
Yeah, Bay. I am sick of Bay. I'm done with that.
I don't understand why a 4-letter word needed to be shortened from baby to Bay.
And since I have a friend named Felicia, I can understand the getting tired of "Bye, Felicia."
It's kind of like the Karen thing. I hate that for Karens out there.
Yeah.
Or Kens or Kevins, because I think Kevin was the male version of Karen at some point.
You may be right.
They tried that. I don't think it took the way Karen did.
You may be right. I don't much. I have a sister-in-law named Karen, and I've got her name's actually Karen. There's a Y in there, literally, not just said with some weird Southern accent.
Well, I was kind of going to go with it,
but
I was wondering.
I hate stuff that involves somebody's name, especially a popular name like Felicia and Karen. I really hate it for them.
No, and that's kind of my. I understand the what, the why, and I get where you're coming from.
Now the name Karen is synonymous with bitch, and it's not going to be used for
you can't win
years.
Anymore.
I mean, nobody's going to name their child that ever again.
I saw a study where that was had dropped 300%.
I can understand
that. The name Karen in baby names had dropped 300% from the previous year to 2 years.
I can definitely understand that. I mean, that's sad. I mean, I get it. It was a nicer way to say bitch, but
own it.
Yeah, own it. Be done with it. If you're gonna call somebody something, call them something. And if you want to do something politer and not profane, then mean woman.
Right. You hateful woman.
Yeah.
Why is that so hard?
Really? I mean, it's the whole reason I love to shop online. I don't have to deal with people.
That's very true. On Fleek frets me. That one has bothered me. I also love that woke is both the most popular and the ones we're tired of hearing. But I think those are subject matter related.
That might be. It might be. We'll just
on Fleek doesn't hit for me. Like it doesn't. I don't understand. I've never understood the usage of on Fleek. I understand what they mean, but where the hell did that come from? It had to come from somewhere. If I have an origin story, I'm fine.
Yeah.
I get origin story on woke. We can thank the Matrix. You are now awoken. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's there.
Yeah,
I get it.
You get that.
It exists. By Felicia, there was something that happened, so it became a thing. Where the hell did On Fleek come from?
I don't.
Where the hell?
No, I do not know. Where'd mansplain come from? I mean, I know what it is, but
I would tell you, but then you'd.
That's manspread. That's different. And why do we keep going back to your OnlyFans?
How many
I'm
not the one
are searching for your OnlyFans right now?
I haven't given.
By the way, folks, does not exist.
Yeah. Well, don't steal this from me. I could have generated a following and never posted a thing. I could have gotten subscribers without the first post.
And his wife would have divorced me, him, and everybody.
I think if I could monetize it off of one stupid picture of me going, ha ha, catfish, it would have been, and made money off of it, no one would be upset because we've
keeping
got a
count?
college
Is that-
fund to pay
Is
for.
that like 4? Is that like 4 you've done now? Are we keeping count? I think that's where OnlyFans got started. Everybody
Yes.
having to pay back their loans, man. I mean, really.
I mean,
It's like,
I don't understand. Well, I do understand. Apparently, that industry is huge.
Yes.
And all they've done is turned it social media savvy.
yeah,
that's all that is.
That's pretty much, that's all
it's
is.
Instagram
I mean,
with an edge.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty much.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's
I
all
don't think
it
that's
is.
news to anyone either.
No, it's Polaroids changed that industry too. Well, Polaroids changed how teenagers dealt with that industry. Let's put it like that.
So, in other words, our depravity as a society is based strictly around the ability for smartphones to have a camera.
Yeah, and I just spilled so much water on me; it's pathetic.
I'll let you sit in my chair this time, too.
It was water.
It's okay.
I promise.
It probably
was
needed
100% water.
It probably
looks
needed it.
like- It looks like something else now because it went in my lap. But
And at some point, I'm sure we'll need to stop for one of those, too, because at your age, it's probably not that long in between trips.
I can hold it. I wore mine, depends.
Well, if you need spares, I got diapers upstairs.
I don't think they're going to fit me. I don't think a premium's going to go around my ass.
I wasn't going to use a diaper for that anyway, but that's neither here nor there. I think that's probably a good stopping point before it gets way out of hand. So, I think if we were to put a bow on it, if we were to put a bow on this thing, 2022 should try harder for better slang. I think it's
Yes,
going to be the takeaway
definitely.
for this.
And I should try harder to actually get the water in my mouth.
Yes. And if you've made it this far, kudos.
Yeah, no kidding.
You are either really bored or you've actually found it funny, and in which case, we may try this again.
Yeah, you never know because we have the Google Net. And,
We do.
We can look up slang terms. It'll be even more fun if we could find some like Klingon slang terms.
It's like that whole trend where people started speaking Elvish during Lord of the Rings. People just learned how to speak Elvish. It's like Latin. Why bother?
I've got a friend that actually has a tattoo with some Elvish words on it, something she wanted to say, like a little prayer or whatever. And I've asked her 15 times, are you sure it says exactly what you think it says?
Anybody who
Because
gets
listen,
Asian
everybody
or Chinese
gets,
lettering on
yeah,
them.
it's like they're hieroglyphics, pretty much what they are, and you might want to check with someone from that country before you,
someone you trust
because
from
you know
that country.
you might think it says peace, but what if it says, hey, I'm available?
Well, again, that's why I say trust, because I could see going into certain establishments where you don't understand the lingo and they say something and then laugh and you're like, oh, ha, 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 and you realize they
no
laugh
kidding.
harder because you're an idiot.
I mean, nothing would be worse than going to your favorite Japanese restaurant to get some sushi, and you know there's this sign for taco soup on your arm.
pretty much.
I mean, and
Eat at
you
Joe's.
thought it meant health, love, life, liberty, or something like that. I don't know.
No,
got
I get
tattoos.
it.
I'll go ahead and put it out there. I'm kind of inked up, but all my stuff's like pictures and very specific to me. I didn't get the number 10 off the wall, and I didn't go in and look at some
You didn't do
Japanese
paint by number.
hieroglyphic and go, hey, that looks cool. What's that mean? Oh, it means peace. And then you wind up somewhere and going, why do you have chicken soup tattooed on your ass? Why are you looking at my
Yeah.
ass? But that's what that means. You
I
don't
don't
want to do
understand the
that.
draw, but I get it. I get it. So
I mean, I get it. I know people that's got all sorts of sayings,
right.
and some of it's just special to that person, which is part of what getting inked up's about.
That's true.
But some
I don't
of it,
have tats, but I don't judge anyone who does.
God, it's a good thing.
No, whatever you want to do. It's your body. Nobody owns you.
I actually had somebody, my daughter got her first one at 18 because I said I would not sign for it or pay for it. And I actually had somebody just like give me all kinds of hell over that because they're like, you got them. Well, I do, but I didn't get them at 18. I got my first one when I was 43.
And you didn't get anybody's permission either.
No, I didn't need anybody's permission, and I just wasn't going to sign for my
I don't think
minor
that's a bad
to
thing.
go and do all that. Oh, I was a real peel, and I got her one set of piercings in her ears. She's got multiple now, but
Right.
I made the deal early on. I'll get your ears pierced. I'll pay for it, but I'm only going to pay for one set. I'm not going to turn you into a jewelry store display. If that's what you want to do, you'll do that on your own after you grow up and get out.
For what it's worth, though, Shouldn't all jewelry store displays of earrings actually be in a fake ear? Why the hell are they in a box?
Actually, you're right. Because
Just
looking
saying.
at them on a wall, how do you know what it's going to look like in your
Right.
head? And
Thank you.
it's not like you really want
Thank
to
you.
try that on.
No.
And, my wife and I had this discussion about trying stuff on the other day because we were in the store, we were shopping, and you want to try on shirts, you want to try on pants, and I just have this thing. It's like, women get to try on bras. We don't get to try on underwear, which I don't want to try on underwear because I don't know whose nuts were in there before mine.
Nope. It's like bowling shoes.
What they have or anything like that. But it's like maybe somebody needs to, hey, if you're listening and you can invent this, the little footy socks they give you to try on shoes at the store, maybe they need to create little things to go over.
Like throwaways?
Like throwaway underwear so you can try on underwear because it's like there's 50 million designs of underwear for men now.
That's true. You're not wrong. No, that's not a bad
and
take.
It's like, how do you know? And if you've lost some weight, I lost some weight and had to guess at sizes.
How would you feel, though, if you were like, hey, I'd like to try these on, and they pulled out like a mesh body stocking, like, here you go, it's a one use.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I'd feel comfortable taking it from them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'd have an issue with that.
If it was in a sealed bag. We're not talking about trying on a deal.
Oh, okay, because the footies just come out of a box like latex gloves
do.
do.
You're gonna have to do better than that. And
don't
just put it on the wall and say take one please. But okay,
No.
maybe that was a bad idea altogether. Never mind, all you inventors out there, don't worry about it.
Or at least budget for the plastic baggies.
Yeah, at least.
or hemp or whatever recyclable you need to
the
have.
masks you buy, they come in bags that you open. It's like the little bag that you get your car air freshener in. The Christmas tree. That
Little
would
cellophane,
work.
yeah.
That would work, and you put those on. You try on all the different
It'd be more
sizes and pairs that you want to try.
That'd be more expensive than the throwaway, though.
Can you order a box of those because that's what you really liked wearing? It's gonna kind of look like the mesh underwear that's in swim trunks. That's
Yeah.
crazy. You see where this went. Can you imagine this inside of a radio studio, people? This is what happened.
It was early on Saturday morning when we knew our bosses weren't awake.
Yeah. The off-air stuff was way better than the on-air stuff. I can tell you that now.
A lot of that is true, even now. And I do it full time, and I encourage listeners to show up and hang out for a while. Just know the off-air stuff's still better.
Yeah. Always. He edits his OnlyFans too, by the way.
Oh, jeez. I'm not going. You know what? We're stopping now because I'm not letting you circle back to it a fifth time. You've made it 4. I'm done right there.
I will come back to that anytime I want to.
I know.
That is gonna come back to 6
I've tried to
months
put my
from
foot
now-
down, and I'm like, no.
6 months from now, we're going to be doing one of these. It's going to be an OnlyFans joke.
It's fine. If it
All right,
gets
so-
the listeners, I don't care.
So I've opened up another. I'm about to open up another can of worms. If you've said any of these 10 things, you're officially old.
Oh, can we not?
So no, we're going through this. All right. So someone on Reddit asked
I
people
love
to
Reddit, by
name
the way.
things that I don't have one.
You don't have to have one. You should just go browse.
Oh, really? I can just. That's something you
Yeah.
don't have to sign up for.
No,
Yay.
I mean you might have to sign up for it. But
Starting to
give us-
show my age now.
Do I have to put in a password?
That's right.
What's a good password?
Good password. Password. That's always a good password. Yeah, that's
It's a throwaway like Reddit, sure.
commercial about being hacked. But anyway, back to on Reddit. Someone on Reddit asked people to name things that only an old person would say. For example, if you've ever said, "I can't have caffeine this late in the day," you're officially old now. Who on this planet would say they can't have caffeine late in the day? And they're probably saying it while chugging a glass of tea, which is loaded in caffeine.
So I think part of that though is health class growing up. As we were coming through school, they taught us like you don't want to have those things before you go to bed, then you won't go to sleep. Like it's been shared, and it maybe not have been in your health class.
Put down a pot of coffee in the morning, and I'm going to drink tea all day long. Yeah, there's water in front of me now, folks, but that's just to keep the vocal cords lubricated.
I mean,
What? Nothing.
No.
I got dead
No.
silence
Nope.
out of that.
I'm not giving you I told you I'm not giving you the fifth opening. I'm not giving you the fifth opening. That's why I stopped. Because there it was. It was right there, and I did not walk through the door. Oh, God. That's going to make me sound... Why do I feel like I sound like I'm the older guy in this pairing, and I'm
and he's
not?
not, by the way, folks. I got a good,
But as I look at this
10,
list...
15 years on him. I'm way older than him. So the full story, the kids on Reddit recently got into a big discussion about things you say that officially mean you're old now. And I'm not going to read that part because,
Well,
the sentences, I
kid
guess
is
I'm
a-
old because referring to adults as kids made the list. Oh, wow. If you said any of these 10 things, you're old. I am definitely old because, I see a doctor now that I swear up and down is only like 30.
no, well, see that?
Um,
I'm 37, by the way, so
wow.
if I was motivated, I could have been a doctor.
I do
And
have
then-
him by a few years, just a few.
There's a couple of these I've said, but I could argue for validity in saying them. Not this one. It's 8:30 at night, a little late to start a movie. No. If you went to dinner at Golden Corral at 4:30, then yeah, okay, I could see that. But I'm not in that mix.
Well,
at all.
Or
if you have to be up at 2 a.m.
I will say that because I'm up at 5, and normally
Right.
I wake up on my own at 4:30.
Right.
So 8:30 is me 30 minutes before bed. I mean, really,
It also depends on the movie. If it's a
Yeah.
hour and 20, okay, that's fine.
Well,
but we're not getting into the Lord of the Rings extended.
yeah, and I
cut.
don't want anything too high end.
No.
I mean, you don't want anything that's 100% action packed, or then the instant you lay down and close your eyes, you're going to relive the movie.
Or you're going to analyze the movie, which we'll
There's
probably
that.
do some of too.
Oh, good Lord, there's that.
Yeah.
I mean, because they start storylines sometimes and they don't finish them in the same movie. And I realize that's leading for a sequel, and that's fine, but,
If the rest of the movie sucks, I don't want to see the rest
for
of it. I don't wanna see
somebody
the next
like
one.
me, though, that can dwell on something like that, once
I
that
know.
hamster wheel gets to turning,
I know.
it doesn't stop. But I can't go out for dinner. I have chicken in the fridge that I need to cook before it goes bad.
That doesn't get to qualify as old.
No, it doesn't,
It gets
because
to qualify as I paid for it. Why am I going to pay again and then throw away the first set of money?
exactly, especially when you're sitting in there and it's going to go bad and you're going to go out and eat
Thank you.
chicken.
Thank you.
I mean,
that one, that's not an old statement. Get out of
Mine's-
here with that.
But see, I say that differently. I'm like, you want to go out? Really? I got some chicken in the fridge. You want to come over?
Right. Again, you can make an event of it as opposed to
You can do something completely different instead of just whining. Or you can.
that was a very
You
shot-
can always cook the damn chicken and then go out to eat.
That was a shot at that lady's name who has been typecast in a negative light.
Exactly.
And that's not fair.
Yeah, it's
I
not
don't
fair.
like that one at all.
Not really,
How about
not really.
referring to people in their early 20s as kids? I have found myself doing this at 37, and I literally pinched myself, and I went, you stop it right now.
I am very guilty of this.
I can understand that.
I'm very guilty of this. By the way, I'm 51.
Well-
for everybody that doesn't know, but I'm very guilty of this. And part of this
Technically,
is
everybody didn't know.
True. But back to the whole when I was volunteering with
Yeah,
college
yeah.
age and high school age kids, and you make friends with these people, and they end up being your friends. And I refer to the groups as kids.
Right.
You deal with them enough, and on some of the levels, they become like your kids. So there are 30-year-olds out there that I refer to as kids, and mainly because they were when I met them.
No, I get it.
But
I understand. I understand both sides of this coin, though. I just don't necessarily like it.
That's true.
It's because it's all contextual and situational.
Yeah, it definitely.
Objective is probably a
That's-
full circling
Well,
term for that.
perception is 100%.
Yes.
And what was being perceived during this little study or whatever on Reddit. I'll admit to not knowing what Reddit is. I'll have to look that up. But anyway, depending
be
on how
careful with
this was
that.
done, it could have been completely taken off.
You don't want to start digging into Reddit at 8:30 at night.
Okay.
Just put
So
that
it's
out there for you.
kind of like
Just
TikTok.
if
Don't
your
open it if
hamster
you're
will,
planning to
that's
go to
correct.
bed.
Be
Okay.
prepared for the rabbit hole.
Yeah, I don't know what Reddit is. I do know what TikTok is because,
I love
funny.
TikTok.
And I love
Jeez,
anything
it's good stuff.
funny. Why is the music so loud in here? I'm 51. I've never said that unless you're blasting Cardi B. Then I might say that.
So I don't remember
And not
having
all of her
said
music,
that.
just certain songs.
No, that's
Because
fine.
I do like some of her stuff.
I have heard people say that. I haven't necessarily done it. I will admit, though, I have fairly sensitive ears. Just by comparison, it's easy for stuff to be loud for me, but not to the point where I'm uncomfortable.
Yeah, I get that. But if you go in a sports bar to get some wings,
Yeah,
you expect loud music.
So I had
Which, by the way, kind of makes me wonder why do they have 75,000 TVs, two on every wall,
Yes.
and then they're blasting the music, and you can't
Yeah.
hear anything, and they don't have subtitles on anything.
no.
So you can't even read what's going on in the baseball game. You all you can do is just sort of watch the baseball game and guess.
Right. No, I agree.
Then if you're
That's
like
why.
me,
That's
if you're
why I
like
get the
me,
Sunday ticket and watch it at home.
if you're like me, you're actually sitting there at the table watching the ball game and going through it. Well, it's a hit and a miss. That's strike one for Johnny. Don't know his last name because I can't see the T-shirt from here.
Anybody who spent 5 minutes in radio has done that.
Yes.
At least once. because you're like, I know what they're saying, even though I'm not.
Exactly.
I do have a story, though, when it comes to music being too loud. In a past life, I was in sales, and I had a coworker who was your age at the time, and he went to a company function, music very, very loud. It was a hair metal cover band, which I've seen them. They're fantastic. But not 5 minutes into the show, my boss comes back and tells me about what this guy did. He took out a stick of chewing gum, left it in the wrapper, split it in half, and stuck it in his ears because it was too loud.
No.
Now, for the record, he didn't chew it. But he pulled out a pack of Big Red, split it in half, bloop, right in the ears. And now he goes, that's much better.
All right, first of all, you never waste those 30 seconds that Big Red tastes like Big
No,
Red. Never waste that 30 seconds.
I hope I mean, they were still in the wrapper. I'm not sure whether they went down the rabbit hole of eating
Secondly,
them after.
I'm sorry, if you say concert, if you say party, and you mention live band, expect it to be loud.
Right.
And I get it that not everybody wants that. And, you know, there's time. I love metal. I love rock.
I love all kinds of
I love
music,
all kinds of
except
music.
bluegrass.
Yeah. Well, that's a good use for Big Red. But anyway, I actually like a little bit of that. There's some genres that I'm kind of picky on. We'll just put it that way.
No, that's fine.
But you know, if I'm going to go to and I got to go to an Aerosmith concert when I was younger,
that'd be
back
awesome.
in their heyday. 89, I think, was the year I went to that concert. It was absolutely wonderful, and I very purposely took earplugs with me. Because the high end of the guitar and where my seats were, I knew was going to be too much.
Sure.
So, but now, did I put them in there to cancel out 100% of the noise? No. I just put them in there to muffle it just enough to where I didn't leave feeling like I had been on a bender for
Or
6 weeks and just woke up.
Ears were bleeding.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, by the way, folks, back in '89, Aerosmith Live was absolutely phenomenal.
I was 6.
But you get up there, I wasn't. I was older than that. But you get up close to the stage.
I was trying.
He's only going to give me certain openers, and I'm not going to take all of them. That's just all it is to it. But, and I've gone to see an AC/DC cover band that is good enough that if you're close, you're really... But, these sound systems are designed to get the music out into the nosebleed. And in some cases, we're talking open-air arenas.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
They're giving it all they've got. There's high octane and there's that.
And I get it. It's like, my mom would not want to be there.
Oh, no.
And if she got there by accident, like say went to a wedding or something and the band decided to play
She was trying
Dirty
to
Deeds,
save the cat.
I can see her going, wow, this is a little loud. But, my mom doesn't particularly care for AC/DC. But if they did a cover of Elvis, she'd probably be sitting over going, why can't they turn this up?
Right. And
So
it's all subjective.
Yeah, very. And, back to perceptions 100%. Alcohol makes me sleepy. Did I just read that right? Who in the world does not realize that?
Me, because I don't drink.
Oh.
But I wouldn't necessarily, passing out
Dealing
is
with somebody
common.
with a virgin liver, people.
It's for sale. At least half of it.
On his OnlyFans.
Well, I probably shouldn't say that. I'm sure there's...
Disclaimer, we're not selling body parts.
No. I feel like that probably even breaches their version of explicit.
It's like, okay.
But I feel like most people that don't know that alcohol makes me sleepy are in my realm of the world who just haven't consumed a bunch.
Probably. And it doesn't make most people sleepy right away.
Well, and most people are pairing it with Red Bull
It
nowadays
makes most
anyway.
people thirsty in pretty much every sense of the word. And maybe we should play with the mouse a little bit so that quits happening.
That's what she said.
Well, if you knew where it was.
You've been working on trying to find the knob since we got here.
Yeah, not his either, by the way, folks. I've got a different diagram up on it. No, I'm just kidding.
This is why he was so excited when I showed up. I had 2 monitors in this room. He was like, "What is this? What is this witchcraft?"
It's crazy. And then he said, "Hey, take the mouse and put it over here and click that button." And I'm like, "Wow, he goes to both screens." How long did that? That was like 10 minutes.
It was an eye-opening experience.
Yes,
it was like teaching a dog a trick, and the first time it sits when you command it, and it goes, "Oh, you're so excited when it happens."
So my wife's got this similar setup at home. She works from home, and just has to have 2 computers, two monitors rather, in order to do all of this. And I've gone in and over her shoulder, and I look at it all, and it's like, no. Absolutely not. But see, it's cool down here because,
It's a subject matter that works for you.
yes, it's something I understand, and I don't want to understand her job. Absolutely not. It's too much math involved. Oh, back to alcohol making you sleepy. Her job makes her want alcohol. Does that count?
But does she want it to go to sleep, or does she use that to relax?
I don't know. She's usually off work nights when she doesn't get off work until about 8:30, quarter to 9. I think she's out for both.
It's probably too late to start a movie.
It's definitely too late to start a movie.
I'm guilty of this too.
I'm not allowed to turn the music up loud when she's working.
No. If you've ever been to any sort of home improvement store or anything like that, and say you're building a deck and you're like, oh, that's a good piece of lumber. Stop it. That's why they're there. That's what you're there for, is to get the lumber.
Not to mention, you really should be standing there looking at it, holding it, going, wow, this is a nice piece of wood.
Right. And I know.
And that went over his head.
No. It was there. It was there.
You always want to stand at Home Depot with your pants sagging down below your underwear going, wow, nice wood. That's exactly what you want to do.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, wow. But you're right. It's not a discount place. It's a lumber store. I mean, it's actually what Home Depot and Lowe's was based on, was selling building supplies, which include
the rest of it
lumber.
just kind of expanded.
I mean, you're not going to go over to the aluminum studs and go, wow, this is a really nice piece of aluminum.
I mean, and obviously those are processed differently, so you should have a lot less room for error.
No sawmill involved whatsoever.
Right. But it's like standing out in your yard and going, got that yard looking good, Earl. Like, stop it. Cut your own grass. Work at it a little bit. Put in the effort.
I know people who do that.
I know you do. Or,
oh, wow. Strap something to your car and say, yep, that's not going anywhere. You do that? You do that?
Every time. It's a confirmation,
I'm
especially if there's anybody else standing there.
I'm guilty for plucking at the strap like it's a guitar string and going, yeah, we'll see.
See, I don't go with the yeah, we'll see. It's usually, it's not going anywhere.
But see, I like messing with people, too. It's like, you get 4 tons of stuff in the back of your pickup truck, and you kind of squat it a little bit, and it's like...
There's liability with that, though.
This is going to be fun.
I don't want to be responsible when that guy's fridge falls out because he doesn't have a truck. No. He's got a cooler worth of stuff at home. No, thank you. I'm not buying his groceries and a new fridge.
Have you ever watched somebody at an appliance place buying a fridge, and like, no, I want it delivered, and they go out and get in a pickup truck? See, I don't get that. I have a pickup truck for a reason, because I don't want to spend $35 on delivery fees.
You have friends that are willing to help. That does tend to lead.
No, I don't. I have friends that want to be made sleepy if they come over and lift something for me. It's like pizza and beer gets me whatever I want. That's why I never call you. You don't drink.
Well, that's right. I was like, because if you'd called and said, hey, I got pizza, that would have been a different story. But you don't ever do that.
Great. It's like, if I need Josh to do anything, it's like, I got pizza and apple cider.
I don't know.
You're never going to find apple cider in my house. Unless it's in front of the word vinegar.
I wouldn't consume it, so we're good.
But yeah, I know people that do that too. And I use ratchet straps. So it's like guaranteed it's not going to go anywhere unless you really screw up.
I don't trust bungee cords because that shit will put out an eye.
No kidding.
That shit will put out an eye. No. I graduated to ratchet straps.
Bungee cords is what you use to keep your trash can lids on in a windstorm.
Right. No, I agree completely. No, thank you.
Somebody forgot to put their phone on vibrate. That would be me, and I don't really care.
I'm not here to judge. I'm not here to judge. You'll do better next time.
Let it go off. It doesn't matter. I'm not going to answer it. I mean, because that's just rude.
I'm not talking about the New Balances because I became a dad, and I am so close. I've had a couple of those new dad moments.
Oh, he skipped one.
Did I?
No, he didn't.
No,
okay, I skipped one.
You didn't bring your glasses, did you?
I got my contacts in.
Oh, I wasn't sure.
No, I got my contacts. If I didn't bring my glasses, I wouldn't have been able to see the truck delivering the car.
I kind of wondered.
Yeah,
it took you forever to get around him.
But say, I've got my contacts in. When I looked up, I went down one.
I just don't. I'm all about comfortable shoes.
I've never tried any of them.
I'm all about comfortable shoes. I used to be a Nike guy. I was brand specific, and then I tried Skechers, and I bought Now this is old man dad. This is old man dad status. I found a set of Skechers that I really liked. Bought them in every color.
Write down the model number or whatever so that you can go back and get the same pair next time.
Yes.
I'm on board.
Awesome.
I'm on board. See, I have to wear steel-toed shoes to work.
Sure.
Steel-toed boots,
Well, that helps too.
To work.
Once you find something that works.
And I do. I actually have a picture of the style number so that I can go back and get the exact same ones every year because they work for me. They're comfortable.
Yep.
And trust me, there's not a steel-toed anything out there that's actually comfortable, but these actually work.
No, not a bit.
So yeah, I'll own my own man card there. I'm 100% on board, especially with shoes. You get something you like. Underwear, you get something you like.
Yeah.
You know.
Why would you not?
Exactly. And if I'm old because I buy the same boots all the time, then I'll just own it and be done.
Yep. I don't remember doing this without already having a plan for it. You look at stop it.
You know I went down
Amazon,
to number 9.
Yeah, I do. And I was starting down to that road.
Yeah.
But you get something shipped in. That's commonplace now. We're getting our groceries delivered. So why is it any shock that there's an abundance of cardboard boxes that are showing up on people's porches?
Exactly.
You keep them. Do you keep them or do you get rid of them?
I have a child that lives 4 hours away. We sometimes send stuff to her. So yes.
Okay.
We keep the nice ones.
Right. So I'm somewhat in the same boat, but I have to have a plan for it. If I don't have a plan for it already in my head, nope. Bye, see you later. Recycle.
The other thing I do keep boxes from electronics.
Oh,
yeah. If you need to ship that back for whatever reason, it's better to have that But
box. I'm just saying, like, your normal run-of-the-mill, like your normal Amazon box or whatever you bought in the last 2 weeks.
Once you have a kid in college, you start looking at the size of the box and the durability of the cardboard, and you're like, ooh, I can send a care package.
Right. But again, you have a purpose.
Yes.
You don't just keep it to be keeping it because you may need it eventually.
I have an attic full of purpose-driven boxes that are empty.
Right. But again, my take there is you have purpose.
Yeah.
What he didn't want me to do. That's a great box. I should keep that.
Yeah, what he didn't want me to do is just lead into, hey, that's a nice box, keep it, because that's what's in quotes on the screen. That's what.
No. Not doing that.
That's what wedding bands are for. Went there.
You hear that?
He hates
That's
it.
me tapping my wedding band on my mic.
He hates it. That's the whole reason I'm here.
No.
But really, that's a nice box. Keep it. I get that. I do. I actually understand that.
I think if there's a purpose, don't
Lord,
just keep them.
If you're fixing to move, you keep every box.
A
deck of cards came in this week and pack something in it.
Life hack, though, if you haven't done it before, and I figured you, of all people, should know this. I should not be giving you this information. If you know what day the ABC store gets their trucks, they give their boxes away. They'll let you have them before they break them down.
Dude, if you move as much as I've moved in my lifetime, you just buy totes and reuse them.
Well, we are in the
stackable.
middle. Yeah, they are. So are alcohol boxes. They're all the same size.
Yes.
Just saying.
I mean, whatever.
Just life hack for you. If I'm here to help.
I'm moving one more time, maybe.
Okay.
Maybe.
I figured you're just gonna load it in a camper.
My parents were gypsies. They should have bought a camper. Walls are dirty. Let's move. I don't like that color. Hey, I like the color in that house. Let's just get it.
I can't. I will move again in my lifetime, but at this point, not if I can avoid it.
I'm pretty sure there's going to be another one, and I'm also pretty sure that before I do it, anything that I pick up, and it's like, I didn't know I had this, is going out the door. A matter of fact, did that recently. Had new floors put in the house, and of course that means clean out the closets and everything.
Yep,
and I pulled some stuff out that was packed up from where we moved 11 years ago.
Ooh, and you didn't need it during that window.
And it was like I did not remember I even had it. It was already packed up in the box. And my wife, who loves some Facebook Marketplace, I'm like, can you get rid of this? Oh yeah, it was gone inside of 48 hours.
Yep.
And I mean, she hands me the cash. This is what you made off your boxes and stuff. I'm like, great, thanks. And
Yep.
she just looked at me. She said, "So no regrets. Didn't realize I had it. Didn't realize it was in the closet.
Mm-hmm.
If I didn't know I had it, then I can't regret not having it." Oh, here we go. Really?
Well, it's just
the
back
last
where we
one.
started.
No thanks. I can't have caffeine this late in the day. I'll never fall asleep. Oh, go to the gym. You'll fall asleep. It doesn't matter how many lattes you drink.
That's a valid point. Pain is one heck of a motivator.
Yes, it is.
Pain is a heck of a motivator. Now, there are certain pains that limit you from sleeping, But just general wear and tear,
Yeah, it's
he's not wrong.
If you'll park way out at the back row of the Walmart and walk to and from carrying your bags, you'll be all right. You'll go to sleep.
Well, if you're going to do that though, leave the cart inside.
Yes.
Nut up, carry it out.
Carry it out. I always park way out. Of course, then again, I drive huge vehicles. It's
not so much
everything I drive has the turn radius of a aircraft carrier.
That's not far from the truth.
Actually, I think the USS Ronald Reagan can make a tighter turn than my truck.
I wouldn't necessarily disagree.
It may have to go over on its side to do it, but
well, if they let it come to a complete stop, then they'll turn it on its dime just by doing
can
the whole.
they do that?
I'd bet good money they can. They don't just pull into the dry dock and stop. They don't. You can't tell me they're pulling those things in on the first shot.
So this is what you hear on the bridge of a naval vessel.
I'd wager you're hearing.
And then when it gets close, you can just beep, 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 beep. I've got a backup alarm. Can you tell?
Well, and we're going to double back to TikTok because for some reason or another, I have watched at least one of a cruise ship captain talking about her day in the life of being a cruise ship captain. So they'll pop up with, here's how we pull out of the dock. And there's a control for this side's engine. There's a control for this side's engine. So when they're ready to leave, they just take these, turn them away from the dock, and just push away. So, yes, they don't just pull them in on the first time. Yeah, learned something new today, didn't you?
Next week on Josh Does Jersey.
Oh, my God.
This is how we pull out of the fly.
I'm just saying.
That OnlyFans page is going to blow up. You better go ahead and get it now.
Get my subscriptions, lock it down.
Yeah, I kind of was aware of that. They most of your larger cruise vessels actually have props, propellers
oscillating
that turn. Some of them have them on like little pods that hang off the bottom of the boat, and some of them, maybe it was the Queen Mary 2. Anyway, I watched a video on one luxury liner that had doors that opened, and it did its turn because it had tubes with props, and it basically could just swivel, which is actually pretty cool for something that large to literally be able to turn on a dime.
Well done to the engineers.
Yes. But all those people that can do math and stay up past 8:30 watching TV.
With that in mind, though, that would mean that they have a better turn radius than your truck.
Exactly.
Just saying. You were looking for justification. Well, I gave it to you, and now you're looking at me like I'm an idiot.
Well, I can. Isn't that the way I always look at you?
Whether
that's
it's
my
true
resting
or not,
look at Josh's face.
Jesus. Oh.
He brought this up to me, folks. He invited me.
I did.
Put that out there. Kenny, you need to be on a podcast with me. Really? You want me to do? What are we going to do? What are we going to talk about? No, you're just going to be you. When you invite a sarcastic asshole to come over.
No, I got nothing. I'm not going to argue with you at all. However, I do think now that we've expended more than an hour, anything more than that in a first episode is probably a bit much.
Yeah, we've gone over.
Oh, I don't. I mean, look,
it's 8:30 at night, and it's too late for this.
But if you're in with this level of nonsense, we will do more of these until you guys go screaming stop.
100%. We're actually going to probably do it even if you don't want to hear it, so it doesn't matter. This is a creative outlet. That's what we're going to call this.
I was trying to give them their out. Now it's me wanting to hear them.
They
scream.
know the out. They take the mouse, they swing it to one of the screens, and they hit the X button.
Will you stop it? It's bad enough they stumbled in here.
They thought there was going to be alcohol. They could go to sleep.
We're done.
We're
just going to be done. Thank you. Thank you for
appreciate it. We
being
really
a part of this in its own weird fashion. And we'll try to do. I would say we try to do better next time, but we're not overachievers around here.
We're really not. We're good with this, so it's whatever. No, we're not going to edit it. It doesn't matter.
Editing. Who does that?
I don't have this set up. I have a laptop that's probably 10 years old that barely opens Google.
And that's something that makes you officially old.
Yes.